Welcome to Out of the World. We're on a new world trip, and after Australia and Vanuatu, we just landed in Fiji. And we went straight to paradise, because this here is the Yasawa Islands. In Australia, we concluded our road trip in the Northern Territory. From Darwin, we flew to Vanuatu, a pure and untouched paradise. Now we continue to the next Pacific adventure.
It's pizza time! Oh, it's really early in the morning and we just came to Fiji last night and we slept at the same homestay as the last time because we slept here when we were going from Australia to Vanuatu and now from Vanuatu to the Yasawa Islands in Fiji. So we even had the same pizza. It's nice to be back.
It was a half an hour by taxi in the early morning and we arrived at the docks to get on this sea bus ferry that takes us to the Yasawa Islands in 4 hours. On the rough sea, but it's a nice boat, guys. From the boat we see civilization disappearing to the horizon as we sail into an endless water world. From the boat we spot several dolphins. We're here, guys, Yasawa Island. It took us 4 hours, it was some rough sea on the way. Some people got sick, but fortunately not us. So, what do you think of this paradise? When the boat stops, it seems that all islands have sent their men out for a pickup and a warm welcome. Even more remotely, this is our new home away from home. A welcome drink. Welcome to paradise. We spent our days on the Yasawa Islands on a small island called Tavewa. And this is the Coral View Island Resort, where the cottages are right next to the beach and the beautiful underwater world. It's the perfect getaway from daily life to really clear your mind. Because there are no villages, no restaurants nearby, so we even have all the meals included. And we can just relax next to the beach for a whole week. From the sky we see the beauty of these islands. In total, the Yasawa Islands are just 135 square kilometers. After the famous mutiny of the Bounty ship in 1789, Captain William Bligh ended up here. The United States later had outposts here in World War II. And after such an impressive history, it's now the ultimate holiday destination. So I wanted to give you my first impression of the Yasawa Islands. Never been here before, saw this water, we climbed the shore, we got our welcome drink, got our lunch served straight away, and then they brought us to our little cabin, which is this one just behind me right near the beach. So yes, my first impression is, wow, this is paradise. These cabins are basic but beautiful and completely in Fijian style. The Yasawa Islands are situated about 80 kilometers from the main island of Viti Levu in the northwest. On these 20 islands live only about 2,000 people. And because on every island are only 1 or 2 small resorts, it actually feels like you're on an uninhabited island. We see how important music is here. When it's time for lunch, or when a guest leaves the island. But luckily not us yet. Over the decades that I was traveling, I often meet people and then I ask them what was the best natural sight that you saw, or the most beautiful waterfall, and in this case, the most beautiful snorkeling spot. And the people often said, Yasawa Islands, Fiji. So I remembered that and now we are there. So I got my fins, I got my snorkeling gear and my GoPro, and it's time to see the best coral here in all of Fiji. That's what they say. The coral is, as expected, insanely vibrant and colorful. But then you walk on by, and I knew what I had to do. The way you're moving, the way you're shining, everybody's watching you. I wanna make you mine. The way you're looking, the way you're smiling, it's like you put a spell on me. You're always on my mind. I meet this friendly turtle and we hang around a bit. I've been looking now for somebody just like you, but then you walk on by and I knew what I had to do. Wow, guys, that was so beautiful. I'm exhausted because there's a lot of current here, but the colors. The coral and the soft coral and all the fish. It's really one big coral garden here, really nice. I'm gonna hang these up somewhere and grab a beer. But first we get a nice presentation of the use of coconuts for the milk and also for making tools and baskets. Okay guys, I found the cutest gecko in the world. It's here on this little dish. Just by our cottage there's this little pathway that goes to the back of the resort, but as it turns out also to the other side of the island. So there are like two hills, and between that there's this little mountain pass, and you can walk in 15 minutes to another beautiful beach. We're gonna do some exploring today to see the other side of this island. And it's all uninhabited, so you feel like the first explorer here.
The nature is overwhelming, and we end up at this Bounty Beach, quite literally knowing the history of the MS Bounty on these islands. Walking around here is insane, though Jens seems to be very used to it by now. At the end of Tavewa we look out over the neighboring island Mamanuca Levu. Those on the left there are Nacula and Turtle Island.
The funny thing actually about this beach on the other side is we can only walk here at low tide because this will all be underwater in a couple of hours. So we have to be back by then too.
These crabs don't seem to mind the upcoming tide though. Walking back, we spot some goats. And this little monkey. The next morning we see how the shipping of materials is done here the fast way. And we take a boat to another island.
The island that we stay at, called Tavewa Island, is kind of small, and we saw it all in a few days. So it really pays off to make a little boat trip and go to the next island just across the water. It's called Nacula Island, and over here we find the Blue Lagoon. And they didn't lie choosing that name, because look at the waters. Gonna do some snorkeling, fly with the drone. This is paradise again.
This island is very green and has lots of lakes and mangrove forests. What an incredibly beautiful world this is.
I walked around a bit and this place is really Robinson Crusoe shit. When you look around, there's nothing else than just the beach, the water, nature. Oh, and coconuts.
And there is this banded snake eel, looking like a snake, but it's actually a harmless fish.
Unfortunately, our week in paradise has come to an end, and this place was truly amazing. Now the boat's gonna pick us up. We're going back to the mainland, where the adventure continues. I'll see you over there.
So now time for our goodbye song. And dance. Two friends there say goodbye from another island as we sail through the rough ocean back to society. Now we sail on to the main island Viti Levu to see the daily life of this incredible country. But of course we'll seek nature again too. We start here in the town of Lautoka and first drive to the northeast.
Because of the rough sea yesterday, it took us little over 5 hours to get from the Yasawa Islands back to Lautoka on the main island of Viti Levu. And we are there now. It's the next morning because yesterday we still had to drive for 3 hours up to a beautiful place called Raki Raki. It has some peninsulas, green hills, the bluest ocean, and we have a great view here at Dua Dua Beach Resort.
The landscape is somewhat different from Yasawa. It's all green and there are lots of mountains. Fiji has 330 islands, but from the total of 1 million people, 750,000 live on Viti Levu. But clearly not on this side, where we find peace and tranquility. Next to the mangroves and the blue ocean, we find our next place to stay.
So the place where we ended up is in the north of the main island of Viti Levu in Raki Raki, which is very remote. There's not a lot of people living here and the roads aren't too good either. So we needed a good rental car, which we got at Koala Rentals. And when we drove all the way up here, this is the place that we found. So I'll show you our little cottage here looking out over the sea, number 11. It's my lucky number.
The room is really nice, but as suspected, the view is even better.
Good morning! It's an incredible new day, and when I look out over the balcony and the sun is shining, I feel like going on an adventure. So we spoke to the captain, and on his boat he's gonna take us around the peninsula to see the most beautiful blue bays, some incredible white beaches, do some snorkeling and discover the north of Viti Levu.
In this area there are many tropical islands, some with houses, some with hotels, and some barely inhabited. We are out to find a paradise all for ourselves. Found it!
After just a short boat trip, we arrive at the next island on which we are looking from our hotel and is named Nananuira. And we look out over the other side of this island, which has some hotels. But we went around the corner to see the white beaches where there is nothing. These beautiful Robinson Crusoe beaches with some jungle, white sand and the beautiful coral. So we're gonna do some snorkeling and I'm curious to see what this looks like from above with the drone.
Okay, so I double-checked. There is nobody in a 10-kilometer radius. Our own little paradise.
How insane was that flying here with the drone? This place is truly one of the best places I've ever been in my entire life. So now let's go for some snorkeling. Every day I'm snorkeling.
There is some current, but we can see how incredibly vibrant the coral is over here.
That was such an incredible tour and we saw the peninsula and the outlying islands here in the north of Viti Levu. And it's super hot, so now I need a swimming pool. Oh wait, we have one. Yes? Woo!
The north is spectacular, but we grab the car and are ready to explore more of Viti Levu. We stop in Nadi to do some shopping and see some of the city life.
So we're now on the south side of the main island Viti Levu, cruising the coral coast. And this side of the island is a bit more tropical, with the north being drier. We're in the Sigatoka Valley, named after the river. And funnily enough, they also call this place Fiji's salad bowl, because you can buy a lot of fruits and vegetables here. How great is this? Our own little homestay just outside of Sigatoka, where we enter the Coral Coast for some new adventures in the south of Viti Levu. And this is just so local. Look at this! Our home for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Now let's see where we are. Sigatoka is proof why this is called the Coral Coast. With the low tide we can see the abundant reefs all around. But like I said, the other major site are the fruit and vegetables.
So we just woke up here in Sigatoka, and it's apparently very normal here that the landlord just brings you all this tropical fruit. We got coconuts, banana for Jens, banana for Celine, and some papayas. So I'm gonna drink this one. It's fresh from the garden. Yeah! We're truly in Fiji now, guys.
It's great.
Want a sip?
Yeah, I like it.
This is so amazing.
Another interesting place here is the best coffee in all of Fiji. And it's all made right here.
Now that's good coffee.
Hey, the papaya matches the kitchen tools.
Yes, okay, thanks for that info, Susie. Fiji has many people with Indian roots, so Indian food is a must try. So delicious.
From Sigatoka we drove just a little bit down south, about half an hour, to end up in the middle of nowhere at a place called Mango Bay. It's a small resort and we drove here through a valley overlooking 1,000 palm trees. And once inside, I must say, this village really resembles the village of Moana by Disney. You see what I mean?
It's no wonder, of course, since Moana was based on a mix of cultures from Fiji, Samoa and Tonga. And these surroundings should be the movie set when they decide to make the live-action Moana movie.
We're totally at peace here in the middle of nature paradise. But even though we're a little bit in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't mean that there is nothing to do here. There's a beautiful blue bay just waiting to be discovered on the kayak. And we can also discover the underwater world while doing some snorkeling. So I'm definitely gonna do that. And if we really get bored, we can always learn the Fijian art of basket weaving.
Kayaking out here is sensational. But remember, Suze, never go beyond the reef. Okay, I saw that movie too many times. We enjoy one of the best pool locations in the world. And Jens decides to take on a new hobby of basket weaving.
So now only one thing remains to do here. Discover the underwater world. So this morning I'm going for a little snorkeling trip.
It wasn't too hard to find turtles, and I see many tropical fishes. Like this blue-spotted ribbon-tail ray.
Good morning, and unfortunately it's time to leave this paradise today. But it's just an hour's drive to the next boat that takes us to another paradise island. But first, let's have some breakfast and coffee.
Now we drive to the most western tip of Viti Levu.
That's our boat. We're gonna cruise down the river and go to Paradise Island, called Robinson Crusoe Island actually.
We cruised the Tuva River for 30 minutes through the mangroves towards an island that is nicknamed Robinson Crusoe Island.
So we just arrived here at Likuri Island and we went straight to our cottage, which is at the tip of the island with the beach on all sides between the palm trees, really traditional, and I will show you the inside for the coming 2 days, guys. Welcome to paradise again.
It's well hidden away from the busy mainland. We can't believe that this cottage right next to the Robinson beaches is only $50 a night. Paradise just got affordable.
Likuri Island is the perfect getaway if you don't have a lot of time in Fiji and you don't want to travel too far. Because multiple times a day the boat leaves not too far from the city of Nadi. It takes you about half an hour to get to the paradise across the water. And for this reason this resort has won many prizes, among which the gold medal for the best budget island resort in all of Fiji.
In the background you can see busy Viti Levu with nearly 1 million inhabitants. Well, over here the closest thing to working will be lifting our cocktail while rolling into the bluest ocean.
As it turns out, we arrived here just in time for lunch. And at lunchtime, the Fijians here like to put up a little show. Did I say little? It's the biggest and most bombastic Fijian culture show that you can find in the entire country. Really.
Sit back, relax and enjoy the show. We even got a spectacular fire show. A tropical island, of course, has some wild animals. And the sunsets are incredible over here.
Best omelet in Fiji.
After 2 nights and an authentic Robinson experience, we take a cab back to civilization. Our next place is huge for $100 a night and we feel right at home.
In half an hour, the boat took us to the main island again, and from there we had a transfer to this little hotel within the hour where we stay for 2 nights. And tomorrow, it's time for our last adventure in Fiji before we move on to Australia. And it's something very special because it reminds me of my childhood when I watched this movie 100 times with Tom Hanks. On the island, I'm talking about Cast Away, and we're going to the Mamanuca Island where this movie was filmed. Getting ready for another boat ride? The last one in Fiji actually, and this is exactly number 1 zillion. Oh, that's Fiji.
Port de Narau is the place where most of the luxury boat trips leave for paradise. And we soon encounter the first of the Mamanucas. But this island is just a little bit too big for us. We want a smaller one to feel like Tom Hanks, people. Okay, this is looking better.
The Mamanuca Islands are a group of islands just west of Nadi near the main island of Fiji. And this is actually where Tom Hanks was stranded in the movie Castaway. Nowadays you can make a nice boat trip, go there for a day or even stay longer in one of the resorts, but still most of the islands remain uninhabited. I will tell you, as a matter of fact, there are 20 islands and 7 of them go completely underwater at high tide.
Because the Mamanucas are so small and widely spread over 1,000 square kilometers, it feels like we're super remote. And we also did pick the smallest one of them all.
From all the Mamanucas, we chose the one called South Sea Island. And this is the closest one to the main island, only half an hour on a boat, and you get to this super small island. Really beautiful, but big in name because this is the most popular one.
Compared to our Robinson experience, this place is very luxurious. We even have an all-inclusive concept for the day on this tiny island. If only Tom Hanks had a deal like this for him and Wilson!
Cheers! I love beer.
I love wine.
And I love beer.
I love wine more.
I love beer even more. Change?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I love wine.
I love beer.
We do some games and a little bula dance before we say goodbye to the Mamanucas.
That's it, unfortunately, for our incredible adventure in Fiji. But our world trip is moving to Australia. And over there we'll be driving the east coast, the south coast, all the major sites all the way to the west in this super nice four-wheel drive camper van. So I'll see you soon.
Don't forget to subscribe and always travel with us on new adventures all over the world. Ciao!